Well, here I am living in a motorcycle shop again. I got up here yesterday and went to Jody's house. Me and him and his wife went out to eat and run a few errands of theirs. Today we're going down to pick up my red bike and bring it up here. And I'm gonna molest it some. I'm gonna do things like change the handlebars, put an oil cooler on it, that kind of thing. Mechanically, I'm not doing anything to it. I'm gonna leave it stock. Bike's got 18,000 original miles on it now. I got it with 16,000 and have put 2 on it. And it's just like it's completely bone stock, that bike. It's like you went into a dealership in 1995 and bought a brand new bike. Got up here yesterday. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see behind me, right? And it's Sunday. And I'm very fortunate, here's home, I have this shop here. Me and this guy have known each other for like 20 years. I pulled into his shop when he was brand new and had a little teeny one, like it was a single car garage shop, one year, and asked if I could do some stuff to my bike in his driveway and I'd buy the parts from him, and we became friends and we've known each other, and he lets me, I think I entertain him because he lets me come here. He's got every specialty tool known to man that they make for these bikes. And I can come here and do whatever I want to do. So I'm very fortunate to have that. And I got the keys to the place. And we're going down in a car to pick up my other bike. Now I'm also fortunate to have, I don't know, 40, 50 miles from here, I got another friend who is like a chronic rat packer. And he inherited a large piece of land with a barn on it and stuff from his father, who was also a chronic rat packer. And there's stuff just all through the woods that his father collected. And Ron collects stuff himself. And the one thing about that place is I can leave stuff there and it just stays there. And he told me that. The one thing about it, he said, your stuff will always just be sitting here. So I have these 2 places. So I got that red bike, I think 2 years ago. But I have not wanted to ride it. I like the mule. I would keep riding the mule forever. It's the best ride I think I've ever had. I've done a few things to it to make it a better ride, but it's just gotten to the point where I'm working on it too much. And I went through that with my last bike. This one's got about 230,000 miles on it, maybe a little more. The speedometer's broken right now, so I don't know. And I pushed the other one to over 500,000, and I just kept fixing it, And I learned, that there's a point where it's not worth it anymore, and the bikes have gotten cheaper. I paid $6,000 for that new one, and I had some extra money at the time, so I bought it. I only paid that much for it because it's bone stock. It's got the stock mufflers on it. The guy never did anything to it. It's like it just came out of the showroom floor, man. He polished it. So anyways, we're going down to get that today from the barn. I have these 2 guys that, thank God, seems like if you follow your heart, your guardian angel provides. That's what it seems like, right? So for me, getting another bike is a major ordeal. I'm not a guy who just keeps getting new bikes all the time. I get them and I make them the way that I like them. Make them functional. They're total function bikes, my bikes are. And I'm very fortunate to have these 2 places, and that's what we're going to do today. And well, we'll see what happens. When Jody gets here, he's on his way over here. We're going to take the car down there, pick this stuff up. This is where my red bike is stored at on Ron's property here. And he just bought out a bike shop. And he got a dyno machine and all this shit. So now he don't have no room for nothing. But this is where my red bike's been sitting. I just went to start it. It starts right up. So I'm here to get it, and some of my parts too that I left here. Some stuff that I picked up for it, oil coolers and shit like that. The other handlebars should be here. Right? There it is. There's a tire I got. Something about sending tires. It's a used one, right? But you can see it's like new. I pulled it out of Jody's trash. And up at the other shop. Brought it down here because I can't store things up there. But so I just put my name on it. He'd have to put an address on it. I actually got 2 of them. See this one? Another one. Huh? These are used. Pulled them out of his trash. Somebody probably took them off because they thought, well, they're too old. I just started this up. It starts right up. Started right up. Been sitting here for a year. Starts right the fuck up. And I've got some stuff stored back here. So the beauty is I can store stuff here, and although it might get buried, it's still here. This is stuff I picked up here and there, huh? Here's a rear pulley, and then it's undoubtedly a stock one because the aftermarket ones don't last. Parts I took off the bike. Now I have, what the hell's in there? Nothing. I have these. Ron, give me these. And they're about the same as the ones that I got. They're a little long here. I may end up cutting them. I don't know. We'll see. And there's other junk in here. I've got a set of these in a box. These are the stock ones, these lower leg guards. The old ones were not made, I'm told. They were not made in a wind tunnel. And so what they do is they block way too much air. And the engines, I always had heat problems. The new ones, which I'm sure were made in a wind tunnel, because the twin cams had more of a heat problem than the Evos. So the Evos will get hot too. I mean, they're all air cooled. And so I cut my old ones to fit, to be more like the new ones. Made a big difference, man, when I did that. So I was going to cut these, but Ron was looking at this bike, and he's like, this bike is too beautiful. You can't cut these up. So he said, I'll order you a set of the Chinese ones. $60. And I'm like, for $60, I don't even want to cut these because it's a big pain in the ass of a job, man. And so right now I'm picking this up, putting it in Jody's car. They're all bullshitting over there. And then I'm gonna ride my red bike on up there. The bike is just, the cam makes a difference because the Mule has a little bolt-in cam in it. It makes a big difference. You know, the Evos, I like stock. I would stay stock, but the Evos are pretty weak in a bagger. And I found that you can put a bolt-in cam, just like your average touring cam, without really losing much. You might lose a little gas mileage because power, people calls it an upgrade. I'm getting an upgrade, I'm getting more power, but you're never gaining. You're always trading. You're trading. Okay, now you got more heat. Power makes more heat. Now you have you've lost some gas mileage. Okay, now you're breaking down a lot. When you really get into it, you're breaking down a lot. So it's always a trade to get more power. But the Evos, so if I had a twin cam or something that made plenty of power, I wouldn't do anything to it. But this one I can't put a cam in because it's fuel injected, and I'm not doing anything to it. I rode it. I put 2,000 miles on it since I got it. I like it. It really runs fine. So I'm going to ride it this year just like it is. Change the handlebars, a few things like that. Put some extra foot pegs on it and whatever. And see what I think. So while they're playing around, I'll show you guys a little bit here. Chronic Rat Packer here, man. We got a couple of bikes here. Dynaglide with a twin cam in it. Some big dog or some shit. One of those things. Got a RevTech motor in it, of all things, huh? Crotch rocket. 103-inch bagger. What's that over there? Sportster. And another Sportster way back there. Let's see what else we find in here. And of course, the new beast. You used to be able to walk in here. It's that shop he just bought out. You know he got it for pennies on the dollar. That's what Ron does. He's got one of them weird talents for, you know, it's like, how much did you pay for this bike? $1,500. And I'm like, fuck, man, it's a bagger or something. He's one of these guys who finds the crazy deals, but then he keeps everything here. Oh, shit. I think there's a leak. He wants me to look at his leaky roof. That must be what the fan's for. Oh, look at this. We got an FXR here. And this is his cop bike, his Evo. This is his personal favorite bike. It's an Evo cop bike, right? That's what it was. It's the one that he likes. And what's under here? A Buell. And Sportster. It looks like it doesn't run. Alright. There's a V-rod with the front end pulled apart. And what do we got here? This is another Dyna. Pretty beat up, right? Nice handlebars. They look stock mostly though. Oh, here's... Well, there it is, cobwebs and all. Been sitting in there for quite a while. Looks like it was raining or something when I brought it down here. Right? Ooh, what I'm getting ready to do to somebody's baby. This bike was 95, so it makes it, what, 31 years old? All the guy did with it was polish it. That's all he ever did, man. And I don't know if I talked about this, but when I pulled the wheel off, the front wheel off, I put gold valves in the forks. These had air forks on them, and they were terrible. The suspension was really bad compared to Betsy when I got this. Those made a dramatic difference. I had them anyway, so I put them in. It's a pain in the ass, but not that bad. And when I had the wheel off, I went to grease the wheel bearings. The left wheel bearing was rusted out. These are Timken bearings. You can grease. You grease them whenever you have your wheel off. So I pulled it apart, and the front hub's full of fucking water. So all that has to be set up. Those have spacers, and they got to be set up with a dial indicator. All this bullshit to fix it. Well, I'm glad I found it. But what happened, obviously, was the guy washed it with a pressure sprayer, which you don't want to wash your bike with a pressure sprayer because it forces water where it wasn't supposed to go. He filled that front wheel up with water, and then with it leaning on the kickstand for so long, it rusted the left wheel bearing out. Amazing. I'm going to pull the back wheel off and see if he did the same, because if he took the saddlebags off and did the same, I want to make sure the bearings are good in the back of that one too, and grease them up. And what am I going to do to it? I'm putting on handlebars. Last time I was here, I put the gold valves in the front. What else did I do? I put a switch in to be able to turn the headlights off. I want to be able to turn my lights off. One of the things with that is especially if it's a carbureted bike, you can, if you lose your charging system, or when you lose your charging system, should I say, you can turn the lights off. You can ride all day. Because the motor uses very little power. You can just run off the battery all damn day. I lost my charging system in Colorado once, fixed it in Arizona. The fuel injection has to have higher voltage and won't go as far, I'm told, but I've never had it before. But I want to be able to turn my lights off anyway. So, and this time I'm going to put the handlebars on. That's a major pain in the ass. I'm going to do all that, and I'm probably going to put an oil cooler on it. And I'm going to check this back wheel, and if I might take the shocks off of Betsy. It has legend shock, or off of the mule. It has legend shocks on it, so I may put them on. This has stock shocks with a lowering kit. That's what he put in it. So, but I'm not taking parts off of the mule. The mule's going to stay in running condition. It runs really good right now. There's a few things it wants. It always wants something, but it's running really good. But it's gotten like my old bike, whereas if you're going to be crossing the country with it all the time and putting extreme mileage on it, it has the repairs too close together. If you're just using it under normal use, it'd be fine. Fix it once in a while. But for this, so I'm going to end up, those are the things I'm going to do. And that's about it. And I'm going to ride it. I'll get the seat cut. I have a friend who does it at Sturgis. And people think that people are always buying new seats for like phenomenal amounts of money. But the one that is on the mule is this one. I'll show you when I get the two bikes next to each other. And I just had it cut because you already have a seat pan and you already have the foam. I don't want to use the one off the mule. First off, because I don't want to take any parts. I'm leaving the mule intact. Watch this, guys. It's been sitting here for a year. Watch. Fuel injection, right? You gotta wait. Starts right up. Just like that. Fuck me, man. Sounds like I got a loose heat shield. And it's almost like I went into the shop in 1995 into the dealership and just bought a bike off the showroom floor. Stock fucking mufflers, stock air filters, stock cam. The guy didn't change nothing. That's what I want. When I got the mule, it had quite a few things that they had changed because we all molest them. This one's unmolested. And but those guys were not qualified, and I had shit I had to fix on that one because of their fuck up. Some of it kind of major. So I just want a new bike. You know, a lot of my friends, when I started thinking about getting another bike, they're sending me, look at this bike, look at that bike, look at that bike. One friend of mine took me to look at one, and he's like, you should get this. And I'm like, the passing lights on it had issues, they didn't work. I'm like, I already got an old beat up one. I'm looking for a new one, right? 16,000 original miles. 16,000. I put 2 on it since I got it. Every time I'm out here, I'll ride it for 1,000 miles or so before I put it back away. I'll do a few things to it. If your bike's been sitting or you haven't done it in a while, the first thing you want to do is check the air in the tires. Always. Because they're always going to go low when they've been sitting. So I've got it loaded up here. The front wheel read 0. And the back had 10 pounds in it. So that's why. So they always go low when sitting. One of the things to do when looking at a motorcycle, you check the mileage, but then you look at the switches. You see the way the start button here isn't worn at all? That tells you. Because if the guy did something to the speedometer, he probably didn't change the switches. And that stuff starts to wear off after a while. Let's have a look at this bike over here, which obviously, I mean, it's not running, but look at the lettering on it. See it? It's gone. Okay. Before I bought the mule, I had the guy send me pictures of the switches, and they look like this one. And it had 34,000 miles on it, and all the lettering was on. So somewhere maybe 50,000 or something, I don't know. Somewhere it starts to really wear off. This here goes across the top of the handlebars in here, right? Okay, these older bikes, I don't know what the new ones are doing, don't have these in them. They come with a strap on the top of each riser, which makes them move. I mean, and I had them break in the middle once. I had my handlebars break in the middle from the pressure. So you always want to put one of these in. You'll see it when I do it. I found it in Ron's stuff. It looks like the right one. They make it for these. So I picked up all kind of crap here. This here is a gasket set for this fuel injection system. I'm going to carry with me. I'm going to carry everything that I can for fuel injection to fix it with me that I can. So here we are up in Ron's shop now. So this bike is amazing to ride. I just rode it this far. Everything on it is so tight and precise, and all the switches, and you know, back in the day when they were making these bikes, I think they were really making them right. They were really shooting for high quality and having shit last. Because the Japs had stomped their ass through the 60s and especially the superbiking 70s, and they had to put in quality. They had to make shit that would last. And they weren't fucking around. Those guys were actually trying to save the company. I do believe that Harley Davidson is being systematically destroyed at this time because, well, as a lot of you know, America and Europe, they're both being systematically destroyed. Most people can see that. And Harley Davidson is an American icon, right? That last CEO, that Yachts guy or Yates guy or whatever he was, that guy holds a seat at the World Economic Forum, for those of you who know what that is. Think about that. They got an ulterior agenda, not making the company go. So I think that's what's happening. I might be wrong. So let's take a look in the shop. Big mess. Bunch more bikes. Those guys, man, they ain't even talking to me. They just bullshitting. I try to get their attention. They're like blowing me off like I was a little kid. Guess they're having fun. Whatever. I came to get my bike and the parts that I'm going to put on it. Now here's something else I just found. It's brand new. It's a Panther belt. I like Panther belts. I've been using them for like 20 years. There's some differences in them. They used to be made by Dayco. Now somebody else is making them. I think it says BDL making this. They sold the Panther, but there's couple differences. One is they're a softer rubber, so they're easier on the pulleys. The pulleys last longer. I've noticed that. But the other thing is, Panther claims that because the cut's different, they won't squeal. And they don't. Unless you get a whole lot of dirt in, but then they stop squealing after a while. The Gates belts, which is what Harley uses, I've had them where they get to squealing and they won't shut up. Or you know when you chirp, when they chirp when you let off, that's your belt doing that. And the only thing you can do with them is get belt dressing. You can get it at the auto parts store. Harley used to sell it, but the spray-on stuff doesn't work. You've got to get the stuff that's in a tube. Looks like grease. You just rub it on the belt. That'll shut it up for a while. Sometimes it'll fix it. Other times, forget about it. So I've been using Panther belts forever. Well, he opens up his thing. He's got one. This is a 136 tooth. That's what my bike takes, and I'm sure that's what this one takes too. So, I mean, they're the same bike. So, fucking, I'm snagging that. I'm going to roll this up, put it in my saddlebag, take it with me for when my belt goes. So, they're playing show and tell and looking through all these fucking parts. Ron's got just crap coming out his ass, and every time they run across something I want, I'm like, ooh, I want that one. Ooh, I want this one. I got some good stuff, man. We're looking at Ron's goats. He's got more than last time I was here. This one's a little curious. Nope, maybe not. Oh, you got any food, man? Yeah, that's you, huh? Got any food, man? No, I don't. You gonna nibble on my fingers? Goats. We had them when I was a kid. I drank goat's milk in the morning and ate goat's milk for dinner, or goat meat sometimes for dinner. But that's what he's got at his house. We're over at his house now. Of course, this thing is going to be continued, and I'm hoping that there will be some decent tech tips that people can use, or things that pretty much anybody can use in the next one. There was some in this one too. Now, some of you guys know in the Dropbox below my videos, I put in links to donate stuff like buy me a coffee and that kind of thing. And I want to thank you guys, of course, that use it. But they send me notifications on emails, and they have a tendency to make it really hard to get back to you. So you generally don't get around to it. So I want to say thanks here. But here's the deal. You know, if you would like to, leave me a message in the comments on especially one of my later videos. So hopefully I'll get it. I tend to see most of them. I try to see most of them. I miss a few. And tell me there. And then I'll get a chance to thank you. So for those of you guys who do that, thanks again. And for the rest of you who don't, I hope you enjoy my material. And well, I'll see you all on the next video.